Good evening. Welcome to my vlog on living happier, healthier, more productive lives while on quarantine. Today's episode is we're going to talk a bit about how things will change both a week into quarantine and my prognosis for the future. And then our top 10 list of the day, which will be about creative ideas, especially ones that people with children at home can share with their kids while on quarantine. So we've been on quarantine now for over a week. My girlfriend Rachel, my dog Romeo, and I. And so we've experienced some of the ebb and flows and understand a bit more what it's like compared to those of you who might be just starting out or who will be in the very near future starting in your own quarantines or self-isolation. So for us, we definitely missed having our social connections that we had previously. The first couple of days we missed going outside. We're now allowed to do that, so we're a little more okay on that front. And just having a bit of variety in our lives, just having new things to look at, to do, etc. That we don't have the same way living in the same household day after day, almost 24 hours a day for 7 days plus a week. And we're going to be here for the next few weeks. So yesterday I talked a bit about trying to make your social connections that you otherwise can't have while on quarantine. So that is one solution that we're working through and that we have done quite successfully in terms of connecting with people over the phone, over WhatsApp, over Zoom, trying to play games together, board games over the computer, having date nights with other couples, having group get-together drinks, this kind of thing. And this is becoming a bit our new normal. I think that for us in Austria, we'll be here for at least another month inside our own apartments. And this is because it's going to be the amount of time that's necessary for the health systems to become less overwhelmed, to be able to stabilize the increase in the number of patients on any given day so that the health system can actually handle it so it doesn't explode the way that Italy has over the last few weeks, or Spain is somewhat on the cusp of, from what I understand, and that I fear that the US is heading towards. I believe very strongly that in the course of the next couple of months, most countries will be able to stabilize the situation, and whatever current restrictions are in place will slowly rescind one or two at a time until life becomes a little bit more normal again and we'll be able to go outside. If we look at China and South Korea, and especially those two who are the most advanced in terms of receiving cases earlier and getting a handle on them, this is where they are now at, where the restrictions are slowly being alleviated in those places because they came out decently early and strong in those restrictions. And I definitely think that by the summer, we'll hopefully have a vaccine in place, which might seem really quick for any of those who understand vaccine development. But I just feel that with the number of different companies and countries working on these, that they'll be competing, and that any business impediments will be absolved very quickly, any government impediments as well, because everybody's trying to get these tested as quickly as possible and out and manufactured in large quantities so that the overall population can be better vaccinated against coronavirus as soon as we can. So I'm placing a bet out there. I think by August, September, we'll have a vaccine in place, and soon thereafter they'll be vaccinating people, starting with those who are most at risk. So otherwise, in terms of normalizing our lives, we talked about socializing, is in terms of anybody who is working or not, I encourage you to set up some type of routine. So you still get up at a similar time, you still breakfast at a similar time, you still exercise, do these things, set up a routine, because that creates a little bit of normalcy in your lives. This is especially important when it comes to many children who thrive in that type of environment where they have an inkling of an idea of what's going to be happening from day to day, so that they're not just totally in this chaotic realm. Which brings me to another idea, which is understanding risk. So understanding what risks you have in your lives, in your place of living, etc., what health risks you might have, or otherwise security, food, and having a good grasp on those so that you're not worrying or taking things completely out of perspective, etc., but really understand and are able to alleviate those risks that actually exist in terms of washing your hands regularly, minimizing your contact, eating healthy food, getting some fresh air, using hand sanitizer whenever you come in from inside, and making sure nothing from outside is coming into your household, etc. So that hopefully you'll stay happy, healthy, and productive during your time in quarantine.